toolbox, my level of qualifications, with specifically focused on the needs and desires of my students. So my students have asked me to work with their motivation letters, with their personal statements, and we have reached quite wonderful results with these motivation letters. Besides that, I'm a holder of postgraduate advanced certificate for educational assessment from the University of Cambridge. And this has given me a fresh perspective on how to write motivation essays and personal statements bound by this very strict format. So the University of Cambridge is number 2 and number 3 currently. I'm not sure about the rating. Number 3 probably among the top universities in the United Kingdom. So what we have been doing with my students, we've worked with strengthening their cases, their personal statements, enhancing the impact, making sure that they are clear, concise, and suiting the purpose. Besides, I'm a career counselor here in Finland. I've participated in a few EU-funded projects, and I also work with IELTS preparation. So very briefly, what I have been doing and what we are going to do. If Alina can kindly move forward with the slides, so you can see the brief overview of the webinar that we are going to concentrate on today. So we will touch upon the essence of the motivation letter and personal statements. What's the difference? Why the personal statement as a genre is so important, why it matters, what makes it stand out in terms of style, in terms of content, format, and what you need to bear in mind while you are preparing for this. We will also cover a few techniques for beginnings, strong opening statements, and closing statements in your personal statement, right? And how we can polish your draft. I help at this particular stage. I have a very clear agreement with my students that I'm not going to write the personal statement for them from scratch. It's not ethical. It's important that, well, technically, I don't know you as a personality from Adam, so I need to understand what are the clear points that we can capitalize on. And for that, I have come with I've come up with a very clear step-by-step plan for you on what to prepare, how to prepare in order to write a clear and impressive personal statement. So this plan has been composed. It consists of 2 steps. Whether you are currently thinking of writing a personal statement, so these steps will help you cement your thinking, streamline your thinking, understand what you need to take into account and what you need to reflect in your personal statement, however short it can be. So it's even more important if there is a word count limit. So then we need to make sure that this personal statement is clear, to the point, impressive, impactful, and you stand out from the other applicants, because, as you understand, the applicants, the number of applicants is always through the top, especially from the starting from the post-pandemic years. Okay, so this in brief is what we're going to talk about, and we can start. I wonder where, at which stage, at which point are you currently thinking, or are you currently um, thinking of yourselves? In what way do you want to prepare for writing a personal statement? I hope that this question has popped in your mind earlier, already before you collect all the necessary documents for your application process. This has to be a question that you ask yourselves a year before you think of applying, or maybe even earlier. Give yourself enough time. Okay, Alina, could you move forward? So what is a personal statement? Why does it matter? So it's as you probably already know, it's a crucial part of your application process. This is important for you as a candidate, as an applicant, and this is even more important for the admissions committee, because all of their applicants are worthy. They are quite well qualified. They are personalities. They have lots of interesting qualities. They have lots of things to boast of, and personal statement is your tool, or your way to present to these admissions tutors or admissions officers what you are worth, what you are like beyond your grades, beyond your test scores. In the competitive environment of the UK universities, of course, you would need to show and you would need to stand out in the midst of equally academically qualified applicants. So this personal statement will provide a holistic view of each applicant. So a few things to compare. So as I promised, well, many applicants, of course, meet academic entry requirements, and these UK universities, like Oxford, Cambridge University, London School of Economics, the admissions teams, they seek evidence of genuine interest behind this application, whether or not you are an autonomous learner, whether or not you are committed to the field, to the industry that you declare an interest, declare as an industry of your choice, of your interest. Okay, so you are allowed with your personal statement to reflect and present your unique interests, your motivation, unique qualities beyond the grades. And this is normally, if we're talking about the UCAS personal statement, this is normally a very short genre. So we cannot write more than one page, and this allows the admissions officers to assess your passions and interest for the chosen subject. Okay, for simplicity, we are going to associate the UK system with the UCAS type, with the UCAS form of platform, and then the US system. We will show the peculiarities of this system through the Common App. UCAS, as you probably know, stands for Universities and College Admissions Service, and it is a hub. It is a centralized, organized platform through which students can apply to a number of universities, a number of undergraduate courses, and even it may offer you an opportunity to apply to the postgraduate courses at universities or colleges across the United Kingdom. UCAS allows the admissions teams process these applications and process all the documentation of the portfolio behind this application to multiple institutions in a single application form. So very quickly summarizing it all up, it's an application platform. It also provides some guidance and support to those applicants who have made it their goal to apply to a UK university. And it also serves as a communication hub. Well, UCAS, yes, as you know, I will soon show what in principle distinguishes these two platforms. But if we move on to the Common application, it's also an online platform. It's used by students to apply to multiple educational institutions, universities, colleges in the United States. Sometimes it also allows to apply to a number of international institutions. And again, we use one single application. So that means that we need to be pretty cautious about what and how specifically we mention the target audience. The target point, right? The Common App simplifies this process. It allows students to submit just one application, and it will include personal information, the academic records, the personal statement, the essay, and sometimes it also can include some supplementary essays. Of course, there will be also letters of recommendation provided in the same platform. Okay, so these platforms, both UCAS and a Common App, they represent this typical application process in each country, UK and the US. Yes, and in the next slide, you will see the clear difference between the UCAS platform and the Common App platform. Okay, so as you see, we have contrasted these two platforms, these two hubs. UCAS is more focused on demonstrating academic fit for a specific course. It has a formal, subject-oriented structure. It also aims to show commitment and understanding of the chosen field. This is a little bit more driven towards the course, the chosen field, chosen university, underscores your acquaintance with the program and with the course. Yes, and it also emphasizes relevant academic and career goals. If we are talking about the length of this personal statement, you need to pay attention that it's extremely concise. At some point, drafting this UCAS personal statement, you will have to definitely leave out certain things that you have already added to your draft. So 4,000 characters. If you're spatially talented, you can just think of 47 lines. Okay, so it's less than 1 page. It's not that much for you to express all the strengths and ways to differentiate from the other candidates, from the other applicants, right? So bear in mind that this is an extremely short format. Okay, and in the Common App, you can see that it's a little bit more about personal and narrative-driven description. Okay, so it focuses on your character. It values your personal growth, your life experiences. It sort of allows for flexibility, a little bit of creativity as a touch added. So you may also add there some supplements, or you may be required to add supplements, and that gives you more space, to demonstrate your unique features and demonstrate this personal story that can justify your interest towards this particular program. Okay, so in general, so you can see that both UCAS and Common App, they're pretty short as a genre. You make sure that you need to make sure that you can edit, you can proofread, and you can make it a little bit more concise with a slight angle towards being more standing out, being clearer, being more focused, okay? Making sure that your rationale and the proof is there, okay? Yes, Alina, if you can move slightly further. Now I'm planning to talk to you about how and what makes this personal statement stand out, what kind of techniques we may use, and what do we keep in mind while we are drafting our personal statement. So we have agreed that for the purpose of this webinar, we are thinking of a personal statement which is focused on the UK universities and the UK system. Okay, so that means that some of the principles can be applied to when you write and when you apply to a US university, but you just need to make sure that you remember the points which differentiate a Common App from the UCAS application. All right, so we see that the very first point here is clear sense of purpose and direction. In your writing, it's not always achievable. It's not always easy to keep this focus. So in this sense, we are talking about the strategy for your case, application case. This strategy needs to be very clear, very streamlined. So, and that means that with this understanding, what is your main point, what interest have you preserved and enhanced from an early age? Maybe having thought about a few stories, or one story that cements, that links your interests into one particular strategy. Okay, so this very clear sense of purpose and direction, and it reflects in the fact that you are not seeking for extremely different courses or programs. So most likely in your case, these programs are complementing each other, and they are based on one clear interest of yours, one industry or one sector. Okay, so speaking of authenticity and you developing your personal voice, our example, which I'm going to demonstrate at the end of today's webinar, clearly shows that the author, even though this person was clearly very young, this author has mastered the technique of demonstrating the voice, the author's voice, making sure that nothing distracts the attention of the admissions committee. It sounds pretty clear in the text already, because usually the admissions committee understands your case in a solidified way. So they are going through the whole application form, and this personal statement is just one part of this of the documents applied submitted. So that means this case of yours has to be really coherent, and your voice as an author doesn't have to be, mismatched. So you need to understand that you need to concentrate and make sure that this voice and your goals get across very clearly. Okay, storytelling and very strong narrative continues this and this premise, because uh, it is not enough if you just declare your interest. Uh, you may think of providing some story which links facts in your biography with your passions, with the ideas that you have for later when you become a student and when you graduate. So this all needs to be connected into one particularly clear story. So, and you better think about this story in advance, and this becomes part of our preparation for writing a motivation letter. Of course, you may say that you are not good at making these stories up, and you don't have to make them up. Sometimes a very tiny angle, which I help and normally help my students to understand, to find. So this tiny angle of view can make it sound more interesting, more unique for the admissions committee. Okay, so with all of your narrative, of course, you can't just add mismatched facts or mismatched ideas. So this has to be relevant to the field and to the sector and to the path that you are picturing for yourself, right? So the relevance to the program is also checked through your acquaintance with the core of the program, with the curriculum, with the description, mission, vision of the university, and values that we definitely have to read about while we are preparing for writing a personal statement. Okay, so when you're thinking of how to finish your personal statement, it has to be a very strong closing sentence or statement. You probably, and we're going to talk about that. What are you going to use as a technique to close this efficiently, close it impactfully? Okay, so strong conclusion is really important, as well as strong beginning, strong opening statements. Okay, so if we can talk about the fact what constitutes a good personal statement, the structure is not surprising. So we really have to paragraph it well. We really need to make sure that the sentences are linked properly into a paragraph, and the paragraphs are also linked at their own level. So this becomes cohesive and coherent narrative. Okay. In the introduction, so you may establish your interest, what kind of program resonates with you, what kind of qualities this program is going to build in me, and what kind of qualities make me relate to this program. So you need to craft your unique angle, need to convey your genuine interest, and already there your personality will shine. You will be able to shed some light on what makes you tickle, what is important for you, and how your commitment, how committed you are to this program. Okay, it is very important to sort of maintain a certain balance of self-reflection, so you know main things about yourself. You definitely have uh, thought that through properly. Okay, you are clear about your uh, your strengths, your passions, your values, how they align with the values of this university, and this program that you are applying for. Uh, the key aspects, yes, key aspects that make the personal statement very balanced, very memorable, very impactful, uh, is the authenticity. As I said, it's extremely important that you draft this personal statement based on your real qualities and your real strengths. Sometimes it happens that when you are thinking of what to start with, when you're thinking of how to move to my next statement and what is pertinent, what is important, whether this belongs to my strategy or whether this deviates from my strategy, from a clear strategy that I'm choosing, right? So in this sense, you probably need to reflect beforehand. You sit down, you take the file that we provide while we are working on your, jointly working on your personal statement, and you consider and reflect which values can be can link you, can bring you closer to this particular program and the requirements of this program. The life hack here that I'm planning to share with you is making sure that you understand what UCAS platform offers to you even before you start submitting your application documents, because if you log in, register at this UCAS platform, there are quite a few tips, pieces of advice that they have accumulated for applicants like yourselves. So you may take a look at what is already available and what is already, differentiated by the field. Sometimes, you know what you're passionate about, you know what field makes you extremely interested. So think of that. Maybe it makes sense to register on this platform a little bit in advance and see what materials have been provided by UCAS. Okay. In the main body, it might consist of several paragraphs, and it definitely will consist of several paragraphs. You're going to talk about the strengths. You're going to talk about the strengths not in a way that you enlist them. You add this very concise bullet point list. You probably need to transform it through your vision, through your story, okay? And that will describe your case in a much more interesting, in much more open way. And if this is a genuine story, if this is a powerful story, then it will definitely have a dual purpose. It will differentiate you from the other candidates. Your case will be memorable, and it will help you in an easier way link all of the facts, all of the ideas in your essay into something coherent. Okay, so and as to the conclusion, I will give you a few tips slightly later what you can do, what you can include into your conclusion paragraph. Okay, so let's move on, and if yes, in this slide, I have collected a few wrapping up questions, which show to you that you would need to reflect on your draft using these particular steps. Okay, whether your the personal statement that you have drafted has a clear focus, whether there is this focus which unites all of the narrative. Is there any purpose that shines through? This purpose is important because it shows that you are committed. It shows that you are capable of going through all the difficulties of the studentship towards your graduation, making sure that well, you are a strong candidate, and the university hasn't made a mistake by selecting you as their future applicant, as their future student. Okay, then we are looking for some authenticity, whether this personal statement sound authentic. Have I reflected enough? Is my voice, does it sound clearly? Does it shine through? Do I come across clearly there? Yes, and are there any examples that showcase my commitment, showcase my passion towards the subject and towards this particular line of trade? Have I used clear, concise language? Does it align with the program goals? Has the register that I've used, the tone, been academic, been balanced? Have I demonstrated the skills and the achievements using concrete examples, making sure that they serve the purpose, right? The purpose of making you stand out among all the remaining participants, all the rest of the participants who are really well qualified. We shouldn't underestimate the competition that we have. That's exactly the point why we are trying to draft a very impactful and powerful personal statement. And not only that, but we also try to edit this personal statement for even more impact, for even more clarity. And when we look at our conclusion, does it sound as an enthusiastic one, as a paragraph that underscores our confidence in the chosen field, in the chosen university, and whether we come across as a strong candidate? Okay, so this is a checklist, a very quick one. Alina may turn the slide over to the next one. So, and now one of my favorite parts of working on the application, on the personal statement in particular. So the techniques that enhance our written English, enhance our style, the sense of purpose, and whether or not it goes through the whole narrative in a clear way. Okay, so there are a few techniques that we may use. Some of them are sort of overused, and I don't recommend them. But if you feel that this is something that you can master, of course, you can try different versions, and then see whether you can patch them together, right? So if we start talking about the techniques, the important one is making sure that you may open it with a story. So by story, I mean some anecdote, the story from your life that shows and links to this particular narrative. Okay, so this captures attention. This becomes engaging. From the very start, you try to grab and hold the attention of the admissions committee. This has proved to work. The next way that we can start our personal statement with, so we can ask a thought-provoking question. Make sure that this thought-provoking question is not a rhetoric question, because in this sense, we will be wasting the space, wasting the time of the admissions officer, because normally they are not that impactful. So by thought-provoking, I mean that this may be an open question, and then you try and illustrate the answer in a very relevant way, which can describe your personal, your genuine experience with that. And that is the way that our model essay writer or author has used. She started her essay with a very unusual, thought-provoking question. So another technique that I may recommend, you may use a short, validating, bold statement. And then this will remind you or the admissions committee of a topic sentence. So that means that you will be bound by the reason, by the structure of the paragraph. You will be bound as an author to unveil what did you mean by that, what this may serve to illustrate. And that means that you grab the attention, you hook the reader, and then you provide the answer, which is not just rhetoric, not just scratching the surface, but helps to discover you as a case, right? So that's a bold statement, which is actually which is good. This can be a declaration of your ambitions, for example, but pay attention to the fact that you need to maintain consistent style, consistent register. So you cannot fluctuate between different registers. You cannot sound too conversational in your UK university personal statement. So this has to maintain the balance of sounding academic, but not too dry, sort of. Okay, so another way you can start with, maybe I'll enumerate a couple of ways more. So another way you can start your personal statement with is a moment of inspiration or a moment of realization. When something occurred to you as an they say aha moment, right? When something occurs to you and you share that as a captivating thought, and that definitely may help attract the reader's attention and hold this reader's attention. But you need to explain this specific moment. Why is it transformative? Why is it so important for you in your choice of the career and in your choice of the direction for your studies? Okay, and one more way that I probably mentioned but not describe too much. Sometimes you may use quotes, or sometimes you may use facts or statistics that you just add there. But be careful, because sometimes these quotes just eat up the space, the precious space that has been provided for you to describe yourself. And this description means, well, I mean it by saying description. So you have to be descriptive. You can't use this numerated list, or you can't be really perfunctory in your narrative. So you would need to make sure that you don't make these inferential leaps. You respect your reader. You are expressive and clear in your with your sentences, right? Yes. So all of it helps you perhaps understand, or let the commission, the committee understand that as a candidate, as a applicant, you are ready. You have your experiences, you have some apparatus, some way to be able to reflect on your experiences, and a way to be able to describe these experiences in a short, concise way, by starting your essay with some unique sentence, whether this is an anecdote, or a thought-provoking question, or some moment of realization. So these are the ways that you may start with. Okay. If you have questions about that, so please send your questions to the chat window. I'll be able to expand or elaborate on what we have just talked about. And with that, I'm moving on to the closing statements. What makes sense to be used to make a memorable closing statement. So we remember that we need to leave a lasting impression on the admissions team, and that means that we probably need to make sure that this all is holistic. It holistically describes us. So one key point, one key strategy that we may finish up with, that we refer, we kind of we give some reversed hook to the beginning. So that means that we keep the introductory paragraph and the outro, the closing paragraph. We remember how they are connected, how they are tied, and we make it a holistic, comprehensive experience for the admissions team. So that means that you return to the beginning, having in mind what you have started with, and you circle back to this idea, or to this anecdote, or to this thought-provoking question, and you expand on that, but not coming with too many new ideas, though, right? Because otherwise it will be less cohesive. So that creates some kind of meaning of symmetry, and that is a fact, or this is a technique for different genres of academic writing. So if you are writing a report, you'll definitely need to keep in mind what you started with, what research questions you were investigating, and give the answer to these research questions, right? Another technique that you may finish your personal statement with is you may actually express your understanding of your long-term goals. So you may describe how this experience at the university, how the degree that you are going to earn will help you with your future career and your future path. So in this sense, to me, it sounds as the most well, as the technique that has the most rationale in that. Okay, because it's very clear, but it may not be very authentic and may not be very memorable, but it is pertinent to your case. So don't underestimate this one. So your long-term goals, your readiness towards selecting the path and following this path can be described through that. Okay. Another way that well, you can't differentiate, but you may think of what which is the way that goes in the most comprehensive way, in the most clear manner, follows the paragraphs that you have just written. So the bulk of your personal statement has to link and has to be coherent with the conclusive statements, right? So you may convey your readiness. You may, in this sense, you will be talking about how confident you are, or how confident you will become after you will have spent 3+ years earning your degree, doing all the best that you are capable of doing, and graduating with some knowledge, skills, values, confidence under your belt. Okay, so you may also highlight some personal growth that you have acquired, you have built, some transformation that you have experienced or you are going to experience, and this transformation is lasting and it has some positive impact, not only on you only, but on the community that you're part of. This is especially interesting for the admissions committee, because understanding your appreciation for people who help you become what you want to become, or who you want to become. It doesn't happen in isolation. So you may serve as a distinctive element of this community. You may add value to this community. And if you underscore this particular process and your understanding and your appreciation for the fact that there are people around you, people who equally contributes to the growth pattern the growth that you experience at a university. So that means that you are not alone. You are ready to contribute. You're ready to give back to the community, to the university that has selected you as the applicant, as the future student. Okay, so quickly wrapping up. So you may, in your concluding statement, in your concluding paragraph, you may return to the opening statement and make sure that you connect that in a symmetrical narrative. You may also talk about your long-term goals, how these align with the studies and the knowledge and competences that you will have acquired at the university. You may be talking about some thought-provoking statement and link this statement with your personal statement essay, right? You may also talk about aspirations and or your goals, clear goals, and talk about the growth or transformation that you will have achieved in your university. I probably do not recommend to talk about too much about the gratitude that you feel. Yes, you are enthusiastic and it will show, throughout the essay, throughout the personal statement, but it is a weak ending. So just gratitude is not enough. Probably the lessons that you will learn from that they are more specific and more self-explanatory. Okay, so mm, you would need to provide the admissions committee with some reflection on what this journey matters to you, what this journey means to you. And it may be personal, it may sound personal, but so what? This is our personal statement, right? It may resonate better with the admissions tutors. It may show the commitment, it may show your sincerity. So this is a good way. Um, right. Next, we are thinking of once we have combined this in a draft, it may be longer than the proposed word count, but then we would need to polish it. We would need to weed out certain words that reek of, you know, being non-authentic, being a little bit more um, I don't know, irrelevant perhaps to the strategy that you have chosen, right? So you would need to evaluate the written piece in terms of how it flows, how coherent it is, how linked the sentences are, whether you are using or abusing actually the linking words, the segue words. So you don't have to do that. Sometimes we have this intrinsic subtle connection, subtle linking, which is more evaluated in academic writing. Okay, so this linking doesn't have to be into your face, right? So this has to stick together, nicely glued with this um, inner uh, coherence and cohesion. Sometimes you don't have to make it too relevant in the sentence, especially at the beginning of the sentence. Okay, and clarity is something that is the point that many students have some wrong impression about. So when we are talking about academic style, academic writing, many of us, many of my students have some uh, wrong understanding, some misconception that academic style is bound to be tough, is bound to be overwhelming, uh, unreadable, difficult to comprehend, which is in reality, it's completely different. It's the opposite of being difficult. A good academic essay or, well, the proper academic style is very balanced. The sentences are not too long. They follow the requirement of being concise, clear, and to the point. So if you were unlucky enough to be subjected to an unclear piece of academic writing, think twice, read more, because good articles, good conference papers, very balanced academic style is a pleasure to read. It's neutral, it's concise, it's very, I mean, the choice of words is very, very accurate. And this is what differentiates the author's position, the author's voice, and the author's unique style. When you sound clear, when you are first of all clear on your goals, and you are, it makes it easier to express your ideas in a very transparent way. Okay, so clarity and conciseness is an important filter that you apply to proofreading when you proofread your essay. I may help, and I'm happy to help you with that. This is just one understanding and one a pattern that I have keep in my mind, to go through your essay in terms of balancing it, in terms of making sure that when we read it out loud, nothing is irrelevant, nothing sticks out. It is understandable, it is relatable, it is impactful and memorable. Okay, so that's the importance. That's the importance of the style that you choose and maintain throughout the essay. Quite often, even if you have had some experience in writing essays at your IB programs or some other educational programs, you haven't necessarily received proper feedback from your teachers line by line. And that's what we need to bring up, this reflective qualities towards a written piece, even if we have written this piece ourselves. So that's why it's important to have somebody like a third party who goes through your essay and highlights certain ideas or certain sentences where you didn't reach this principle of being clear and concise. So whenever somebody else, your friend, your tutor, your mentor, your parent, shows that this is difficult to understand. Here, this can be misrepresented or misunderstood. There is some ambiguity. There is no clarity in this particular point. Here you make some inferential leap and you jump and don't bother to explain the idea, to unfold this argument in a proper way. Okay, that is okay. That this means that we are growing as writers. It doesn't come it's not an innate quality. Writing is one of the most comprehensive and tedious skills to learn, to enhance. It takes a while. That's why I recommend that you would ask somebody who can provide some feedback, maybe your teacher or your tutor or your parent, if they have enough tools, instruments, and understanding, right? I wonder if we have any questions in the chat. So I would like to take a look at the questions if there are any. And I can see if Alina moves forward with the slide, it's probably not the version that I have edited. Okay, yes, that's the version. Perfect. Perfect. Yes, so you can see that this is the beginning of a UCAS personal statement. So now you're going to use your chat window, and you're going to, first of all, read this. Well, take your time understanding, reading through this extract, right? It's not the whole essay. These are the first 10 lines, and this essay was written perhaps 5 or 7 years ago. So I can see that the applicant was successful. She was able to secure a study place at the University of Cambridge. And fast forward, she completed her master's already and is on her way towards the doctoral degree. Okay, so this person is quite special. She wasn't my student, but we have been cooperating for a few years. Okay, so that's why I'm going to show you this extract and take a look at how it starts, how it progresses. Okay, what kind of style has the author chosen to express the unique features, the unique qualities and interests that she wants to capitalize on. As I said, there are 47 lines altogether. So these are just the first 10 lines. Would you agree that this beginning grabs your attention? Okay, share your ideas in the chat window. Uh-huh. So I can see that some of you agree that this is an attention-grabbing beginning. Let me check the chat. Not sure. Don't know. Well, in this, I see. Shadin shares that it's almost impossible. That's what that that's what she thinks. Or I'm not sure if it's a lady or a man. Right. So I can see that you definitely have some interest towards how to write the personal statement. You probably don't have enough tools, or you haven't practiced enough writing specifically in this genre. I will provide you with some feedback on this essay. So as you see, the author has started the essay with a question. What do you think about this question? Have you ever heard the two-one throat singing technique? So this is a question which lingers on your mind because this question discusses something that is absolutely non-standard. Throat singing, you don't come across this interesting sphere every single day. So that's a very rare quality, and a person who specifically differentiates and highlights this skill may be a genuinely interesting person. But what the admissions team is thinking of, okay, this is a good beginning, but how would the candidate, how would the applicant survive from this beginning? How would the applicant continue uh, in the same vein, describing, being focused on this, on answering this question and linking it to the sphere of interest? Because we definitely, we are not going to be taught a throat singing technique at a university that we're applying for. So that means that it somehow should be linked with a discipline, with a field or a sector. And I wonder if you can guess what kind of program, what kind of, well, you know, the university, but what kind of interest lies in the core of this personal statement? What industry, what sector, what kind of program is this applicant trying to enter? You may guess in the chat window. Try and think of something relevant. So what can be relevant? You have read the beginning paragraph, and you can see in lines 9 and 10 the beginning of the next paragraph, which is definitely linked to the sphere of interests of this particular applicant. Sophie is not sure. Yes, Sophie is not sure what Tuvan is. Tuva is an area in Russia where they this is a very authentic, very remote area where the inhabitants, the people, the people, the residents who have been native to this land, they have developed a special technique of singing, of communicating, where the sound goes through the throat and it's very authentic, it's very unusual, and it cannot be easily, imitated. There has to be um, a special skill, what you need to develop. Okay. No, this is not singing, of course. So, but it definitely relates to using your voice, to using the quality of your voice, your vocal cords, and line number 9 gives you some kind of hint what exactly this author is interested in. So this is the language, and this person was applying for linguistics, so modern linguistics at the University of Cambridge, the faculty of. I don't remember exactly what it is called, but it was the linguistics department and applied linguistics in particular. Okay, so you can see that the second sentence, line 2, the second sentence is sort of short, and the sentence still continues the idea. So there is some answer, but it's just a touch of the answer. It's just a hint. And after that, there is a further, unwrapping of this idea, a further development of the argument with a slightly unusual tone, right? It's not particularly. It might be called conversational. It's not particularly academic. Just if you take a look at the two words, that's and later what's underwear. So these contractions are not welcome in the purely academic style, right? Uh, in this sense, you can see that sometimes even if you um, deviate from the academic style, but you make it in a comprehensive manner, so then you technically can pull it off. Okay, so that gives you some idea how to start the essay and how to link sentences together in the first paragraph. But already from the middle of the paragraph, closer towards the second one, you need to mean business. So you need to come closer towards the thread of your, or the core of your description. Okay, so you've grabbed the attention, and now you're redirecting this attention to your sphere of interests and make it very relevant to the program that you are applying for. Okay, so I wonder if this has been educational. This is really, Marcus is talking about the literate style. Yes, it is literary. It's very balanced, although it's slightly conversational. But you just need to maintain this type of style and make sure that you don't change it all of a sudden, and it all sounds coherent. Okay, so in this sense, I'm wishing you a lot of luck with drafting your personal statement. If you need help, if you need more ideas, if you need a third party to help you edit your personal statement, help you come up with relevant points which you research and add to your personal statement, you may definitely call us, send us a message, and we will be happy to help. Okay, so this has been a very short introduction, so we will continue in a group. If you want to ask questions, please feel free to come up with your questions in writing or verbally. I wonder if we can let the participants speak there.
Thank you, Nara, for
Thank
this
you so much.
wonderful webinar.
Thank you so much. I
Thank you.
appreciate your being here, even though we have a little bit exceeded again the length of the webinar. But there has been a good example, and you may just compose some understanding, compose some very first draft personal statement based on the information that I have provided.
Sure. And also, we discussed a lot of really important points today because it is very essential to understand what to write about. And also, um, our webinar, I think, is useful for everyone who attended today and also who will see this webinar recorded as well. So if you will also have any additional questions, or maybe you need help to write an essay, a personal statement, you see the QR of our WhatsApp and our email. So you can text us and we can either do a separated course of sessions with Inara to write your motivation letter, to write your essay. Or you can also get a full support from us, because we at Adelaide, we do not only offer the help with writing an essay, your personal statement, we also help with every step to apply to university. So the whole admissions process from the beginning till the end, and moreover, when you receive the answer from the university, we still are in touch with you. So for today, as I see no more questions are left, so we can finish. And as I said, if any questions appear or you want to contact us, you see all our contacts on the slide right now.
Thank you very much, and I wish you best of luck with your application process.
Thank you so much, Inara. Thank you for doing all of it today. And we'll see everyone again on our next webinar. So just have a great evening, night, morning, whatever time you have right now in your time zone.